Happy Saturday! Good morning. It is day 16 of our challenge. And yes, I only had 15 days at the beginning of this. I called it a 15-day challenge, but I decided to extend it because so many of you had messaged me and told me how much you were enjoying it, even though you aren't showing your journals, and some of you haven't started yet. That is totally fine. You are welcome to follow along with me every day, even if it's just to get a little glimpse of some scripture. That is absolutely fine. So if you're joining me now, I got to turn my sound down a little bit. These speakers are pretty loud when it comes up. So if you're joining me now, let me know who's here. Good morning. Good morning. And I want to make sure I am in the right spot. Let's see here. Yep, we're here. Okay, awesome. So we're going to be starting day 16. And what I have decided to do is the next 16 days are going to be filled with God's promises, okay? The Bible is full of God's promises and reminders that He is faithful, right? I'm praying that the next 16 days are filled with scripture about God's promises, and I'm praying that they will teach you more about His incredible character. So I want you to reflect on this collection of promise scriptures to help you in whatever you're facing today. And I want you to take encouragement from the truth that God is with you, right? Every single day. All right, so let's see here. Yesterday, let me pull my journal here and add it and put it here. So yesterday was 2 Timothy 3:16, and we talked about God's breathing the word into us, right? How He breathed the scripture into the men that would write about it, and how important that was. So I found a picture of an open book. All I did was copy it, print it off, and then duplicate it right here on my page, and then I just wrote the word God breathe. So much of scripture, it's so familiar to you that you have trouble remembering who wrote what, and it doesn't really matter, does it? The important thing is that it was God breathed into those men. Good morning, Denise. Good to see you here. So that's what I did for my page on Friday, and then this is going to be Saturday's page. So let's get into it just a little bit here, and we're going to be talking the scripture for today. If you have not done it yet, please go ahead. The link is in the Facebook group here to get the next 16 days worth of scripture. So I hope that you will get that, print that off. It's free, guys. There's no cost to it or anything like that. So I hope that you will go ahead and print those off. So today's scripture, I'm sure, is very familiar. It's the 23rd Psalms, but we are going to be reflecting mostly on 23 verse 4. Now in the NIV, when you read that, it's not as familiar. It says, "Even though I walk through this darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." So that part's the same. But if you listen to it in the King James Version, what's the one that we all have memorized as a child? At least most of us have. "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." So this is another one of David's Psalms. And David, of course, we know he could walk through a dark ravine, over a large mountain, hiding in a cave, and he faced death daily, hiding from Saul. Yet he was fearless because he knew that the Lord was walking with him. And it's funny how the shadow of death and the darkest valley actually drew David closer to the Lord. Sometimes that happens with us, doesn't it? Whenever we're going through our toughest times, that's when we find God the most. We know that He's there for us. We reach out to Him even more. So remember, David started out, he was a shepherd, right? So he carried a rod and a staff to protect his sheep. That's the one that hit me as most. I kept thinking about this rod and staff. And a rod is like a short little stick. You think of the old-fashioned, well, no, the cops today use them too, those batons that they carry. So he would carry this on his belt. And the staff, of course, is a long, lightweight pole with a curved end that we always think of that shepherds use. And they use it when they're moving sheep, when they're counting sheep, when they examine the sheep. They use it to guide the sheep wherever they're going to go. So when you understand how shepherds tend their sheep, it really helps me understand God. So if I start to wander away, God's not going to say, oh, there goes that sheep again. Oh my goodness, she won't ever stay in line. Instead, he's saying, how can I help her? How can I help my sheep? How can I move her back in line where she needs to be? How can I comfort her and give her what she needs? Sometimes he does have to discipline us, but he always does it with love. He always encourages us, and he corrects us, and he instructs us, and he deals with us firmly yet gently, which is the way most shepherds are. So God actually uses the rod then against his enemies. The shepherds use that to, club away the animals, that might be harming his sheep. But the rod is used for the enemies outside in us. And that would be Satan, right? He uses it to destroy him, and he's making sure that he cannot hurt us. But the other enemy is me. I'm my own worst enemy. Are you your own worst enemy? So God is using his staff to direct us and rescue us from difficult and dangerous situations, but he's also using it to give us rest when we lean on him. I saw a picture of Jesus leaning into someone, and they were leaning into him. Think of the rest you can get if you were actually leaning on God, leaning on Jesus. Wouldn't that be just amazing? I love that picture. I wish I could find it again, but I don't have a clue where it was at. But when I saw that, it just gave me so much hope. It helped me know that he is always there for me, right? Okay, so today I looked up real quick. I wanted to see some different pictures that I could possibly use in my journal for today. And the rod and the staff, like I said, that keeps coming back to me. So there's all kinds of pictures here of a rod and a staff. There you go. That's like the little, think of the little baton that the cops use. And there's the staff that it's got a hook on the end so that they can hook the sheep or pull them back. I like this one. This one reminds me of my father-in-law's cane that he used. He used one similar to this. I might use that. I might print that out and copy it in my journal for today. There you go. There's a picture of a hit. There you go. Now this is good. The rod is used to hit the enemies, keep the enemies away, and the staff is used to pull them back. Right? So I love this image. I love this image too. These are awesome. So that's what today's scripture is about. So I want you to go ahead and let's go ahead and start with today. Let me see here. I want to do this one. Let's move this one out of here. Okay. So, whoops, there was my pen. Here it is. So I'm going to do my heading just a little bit fancier today, just because I feel like it. So I'm going to do Saturday in big. Now, I always write this out in pencil first so that I know what my spacing is like. If you ever wonder why I seem to have good spacing, it's because I've taken the time beforehand and very lightly written it down in pencil so I can see what letters I'm following. So I encourage you to do that too. If you are wanting to write nice big letters or anything like that, you can do that. You can write it in pencil, and then it erases off really easy. So there's Saturday, and then I'm going to write it Saturday in cursive underneath it, and you'll see why in a minute, why I did it this way. Okay, and then I'm going to write July 16th. Month is half over. Okay, so what I can do then is, let me see where my eraser is. Here it is over here. Okay, I'm going to erase the little lines that were behind it. I've had some of you ask me about my journal because you said it looks like the pages are pretty easy to work with, and they definitely are. After I'm done with this, I'll show you what pages I use, okay? Let's see here. What color do I want to do today? Let's, here you go. I got a green. Let me do a green. So I'm going to color in the Saturday with green. The big Saturday. There you go. So that makes it stand out a little bit more. And then I think I'll do the little Saturday. Whoop, I forgot to cross my T. Let's get the T crossed here. And I'm going to do that in yellow. I'll probably do the July in green too, just so it'll stand out. Okay, so now I'll be ready to write my scripture in there. If you can see that, so that's how it turned out, looking like that. Okay? All right, so let's see here. I'm going to remove this and come back to me. So I've had some of you asking me about my journal. I actually designed this journal last summer, and I had it available for purchase on my website starting in December. And what it is it is a dot journal. So it is, and it's nice and small. That's the way I like it. I wanted a small journal that I could use so that I could throw it in a purse, throw it in a bag, and take it with me wherever I want to. So this is the journal that I use, and it's got Blessed Be on the back. But the cool thing about it is it's got an embossed, let me see if I can show you that a little bit better. It's got an embossed front on it, and it says Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. So these are available on my website for $10.99, and they've just got the blank pages inside, all the blank pages, and it's also got a pocket in the back that you can put things in, and then it's got a elastic here that you can mark it for your page, so you can have your page like that. So if you're interested in that, you're welcome to go to my website. It's blessedbeboutique.com. Good morning, Barbara. Good to see you. I'm sorry I didn't see your comment before. But yeah, you're welcome to go there, and I'll put a link. I'll add a link to the page because I have a couple people asking me about it, so I will do that. All right, and we've got lots of them in stock. Oh, and I also have kits too. These are the kits that are available. I have these available in black and blue, and they are filled with a whole bunch of crafting supplies, journaling supplies. They have the stencils that I use. They have washi tape. It's got this nice pen that I use. I love this pen. It's what I use for all my journaling. It's got color pencils, post-it notes, washi tape, I said that, and some other goodies too. So I'll go ahead and start that. I'll go ahead and put that in a post. So I am so glad you joined me this morning, day 16. Tomorrow's day 17, and our scripture tomorrow is going to be Romans 8:28. So, you know, if you want to read up on that before tomorrow morning, that would be fantastic. If not, join me tomorrow morning, and I will be here again with you. All right? I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day.